Hey guys, it's Shay of Black Photography. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel, and if you've been here before, welcome back. I turned an action camera into an instant camera with this new case. Is it a bit gimmicky? Yes, but if you're like me and you love the retro instant camera aesthetic and the idea of holding a physical print in your hand after taking a shot, this thing is worth a look. I was surprised by how much fun I had shooting with it. In this video, I'm going to break down the specs, show you how it works, and then take it outside for a real field test. Let's jump in. So there are two options for the FunCam, the FunCam Kit and the FunCam Case. The FunCam Kit comes in two parts, the case itself and the detachable printer module. The FunCam Case just comes with the case. The FunCam Kit will run you about $130. The case by itself will run you about $30. At the time of recording, there is a discount on the Insta360 printer module if you order through their website and maybe through Amazon, so check it out. The case is made of what feels like a light but decently sturdy matte plastic. The front of the camera has a convex mirror on the front for framing selfies, which is a nice touch. Below the mirror is a red shutter button. To the right of the selfie mirror are the words Go Ultra and cutouts for the camera sensor and microphone and the lens. Below the lens is a cutout to see the LED light. On the top of the case is a big red button. It allows you to press the shutter/record button. On the right side of the case is a cutout for the speaker and the charging port. On the left side of the case are buttons for the power button and the Q button. On the bottom left and right sides of the case are the strap slots. The back of the camera has a magnetized removable door. The magnet seems sufficiently strong. The bottom of the case has a removable cover. Once you remove it, you can attach the Insta360 printer. The thing I do like about this case is that there is some internal padding to somewhat protect your Go Ultra. Padding doesn't cover the entire inside of the case, but some is better than none. The whole thing is clearly designed to evoke a classic instant camera body, and honestly, I think it doesn't look too bad. The printer slides into the bottom of the case, and it feels relatively secure. The printer charges via USB-C port, and you should get about 20 prints per charge. The paper comes in little cartridges, think credit card size prints. On the print quality side of the house, it's a dye sublimation process at 300 dpi with 16.7 million colors. Translation, these aren't like thermal receipt prints, they should actually look pretty decent. Okay, now let's talk installation. Okay, so we have the FunCam case. We're gonna pop off the back. Gonna grab your Go Ultra. I like to pop open the door or the screen a little bit just to make it a bit easier. And then when you put it in, you wanna put it in like this, and it should slide right in there. Gonna slide it in. You still kind of leave the door out, the screen out a little bit, and then you're gonna take your kind of back door cover and just attach it back on there. And now you have it so that your Go Ultra is in the case. Now, if you want to attach the case to the printer, again, very straightforward. You're gonna slide off the bottom here, slides back. You can see here it has space for this little piece on the printer. So you're just gonna kind of, hopefully you can see, line this up and slide it in. And this is what it looks like. It honestly takes maybe 30 seconds once you get down how to put the camera into the case. After that, you've got your little setup. One thing about this case here, so if you hold it like this, it's fine. If you hold it like this, where you hold the printer, it's fine, but don't hold it by just the camera like this because it's possible for the printer and the case to disconnect. So just make sure you're careful with how you hold this, or if you put a strap in here, how you hold it. Loading paper into the printer is pretty straightforward. You're gonna take your printer paper out of the box. The cartridge slides into the side of the printer, so there's this little door here. You just pop it open. I'm not gonna take out the cartridge because I think I still have some prints in here, but here is where you would put the cartridge, and once it's in there, you just close it back up. So in order to connect the camera to the printer, first thing you want to do is turn on the camera. You can turn on the printer. Like I said, you should see the flashing blue light. That means that the printer is trying to connect to the camera. You'll also hear the printer. Okay, on the camera screen, you're gonna scroll down or swipe down, and then you're gonna swipe left, and you're gonna click on the accessories button. There you see something that says add Bluetooth accessories. You're gonna click on that, and now your camera is gonna search for the printer. Finally popped up. Here's a printer. You're just going to click on the printer. And now it is connected. If you want your photo to look even more like an actual instant photo, you can click the print settings button. This allows you to change the photo layout between frameless and Polaroid. Yes, one setting is actually called Polaroid. This just kind of solidifies for me that Insta360 is trying to get in on a piece of the instant camera market. Once you're connected, your photos will more or less automatically print. What happens is you take your photo, the photo saves to the SD card, and then there's an option to print the photo. You simply click the print button and it will print. If for whatever reason you don't want to print, you simply can hit the back button and it'll go back to kind of the live view mode. Printer takes about 1 minute per photo to print, and the print slides out fully developed. That's one thing I like about this setup is that you don't have to wait for your photo to develop. Once it finishes printing, it is a fully developed photo. That being said, it is, I would say, slower than kind of a normal instant camera. So, you know, with Instax or Polaroid, you press the button and the photo pretty much automatically ejects, and then you can move on and take the next photo. With this setup, you kind of have to wait the full minute for the photo to finish before you can print another one. Okay, so you've seen how to set up the FunCam. Now let's take it for a spin and see how it actually performs when you're not sitting at a desk. One of the first things I noticed, of course, is the Go Ultra's lens quality. It's, you know, of course, pretty good. It's a digital camera. It has an f2.85 aperture and can shoot up to 50 megapixel photos. Of course, they are way sharper than what you get from, say, an Instax Mini or Polaroid Go, but that's kind of the point of shooting digital, right? You're shooting with a digital sensor that can take up to 50 megapixel photos, and then you're printing that photo. They've got a slightly glossy look, and they dry immediately. Now the speed. 1 minute per print is fine when you're taking your time, but if you're trying to print a bunch in a row, that 1 minute adds up. You also have to worry about the printer overheating sometimes if you plan to print photos back to back to back. The Bluetooth held up well. I didn't have any connection issues. Battery wise, I printed several photos and the model still had a charge, so I can see the 20 print claim, you know, being realistic. Okay, so some of the quirks or my thoughts about shooting with this. Overall, I do like shooting with this better than I like shooting with the printer and the H Pro 2 attached. I think it just feels a bit better and a bit more balanced as far as how it's held. One thing, it's not necessarily a dislike, but it's just kind of a quirk with shooting with this particular camera, is that the prints are vertical, but most of your images will be horizontal. And I don't know if weird's the right word. I'm kind of weird about that. Like, if the print paper is vertical, I want my image to also be vertical, but then shooting this camera vertically is weird because you're like holding it sideways instead of kind of the normal way, and it's just a thing. So if you are big on vertical photography, then this may not be a good setup for you, because the camera setup is horizontal. Another thing, it doesn't bother me per se, but just kind of an annoyance, and it's a dumb annoyance, like I know this, but it's the fact that the lens is so wide. Like I saw some shots that I really liked and I thought would look cool and like be able to take it with the camera and print it, but the lens on the camera was so wide, I didn't get the view I was looking for. And again, I understand this is an action cam. It's naturally a wide field of view because it's an action cam. So it's not the camera's fault. It's more so my preference. There is a 2x zoom on here for photos, so that does help a bit. But I'm just used to a more zoomed in look for my photos. But overall, I still enjoyed shooting with this camera. So here's the $1 million question. Is this actually instant photography? I would say if you're talking about what most people think about when you say instant photography, that's Instax, that's Polaroid, then no. However, you do more or less instantly get a photo once you take it, so technically I would say it is instant photography. Here's my honest take. For me, I'm keeping it. Not because it replaces anything in my kit, but because it adds something new. A kind of modern way to do instant photography. But here's who should actually buy this. Get this if you already own the Go Ultra and you want a fun way to produce physical prints, or if the idea of wasting expensive instant film stresses you out a bit, but you still want that instant photo experience. It's also a great conversation starter. The retro design generally looks pretty cool. I doubly recommend this if you already own the Insta360 pocket printer as well as the Go Ultra. I'm a big advocate for printing your photos. Skip this if you're an analog instant photography purist, you don't already own a Go Ultra or the printer or both, and buying them would be a huge investment, or you want to print a lot of photos very quickly. A weird little accessory that turned out to be really fun. If you've tried this or you're thinking about picking one up, drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious what the instant photography community thinks about this hybrid approach. Shameless plug, I have an affiliate link for the case and the printer in the description. It doesn't cost you anything and helps me continue to buy gear to review for y'all. Until next time, keep practicing, keep having fun, and I'll see you in the next video.